What is going on, everybody? Alfred Ezman with World Baseball Network here, and we are joined by a very special guest. We have Joe Allen with us, a pitcher with the Clemson Tigers, a very good pitcher with the Clemson Tigers in 2025. A 5-0 record, a 1.84 ERA, and 29 and a third of work, 32 strikeouts over that stretch as well. Fabulous stuff last year from you, Joe. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. Well, let's talk about last year, right? I just read off your stat line, very good numbers and stuff. Talk about everything you felt that went right.
The biggest thing for me was I had helped to develop a new pitch. Gyro slider was the biggest thing, and it was all Coach Bellinger, the pitching coach here. He just came up with the idea about 3 weeks before the season, and that was the pitch I threw the most this year, and it was because of him. He helped me a lot with that.
That is awesome. Wow. How were you able to just kind of get that into your arsenal so quickly? Because you said it was what, 3 weeks before?
Yeah, 3 weeks
Yeah.
before the season. So we looked at a lot of my pitch metrics. I threw a sinker and a big sweeper, so I had nothing that was like metrically was like more just in the zone.
Mhm.
Um, so we looked at hard cutters, stuff like that, and just messing around with grips, and something just clicked. I don't know how, but he helped me a ton. Just like looking at different grips and trying to figure out what was correct for like my arm path is pretty sweet.
Very awesome, man. Yeah, let's talk about let's kind of broaden the scale, right, of 2025 and talk about y'all's season. I had Coach Bakich on with an interview with us, and he kind of talked about this isn't verbatim, but the quote sort of was you left kind of feeling a little disappointed, right? You guys hosted a regional at Doug Kingsmore and you couldn't get past that. Is the feeling mutual with you, and what does that create for 2026?
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. I mean, in my 3 years now, my fourth year that I've been here, I think the program's taken huge jumps with Coach Bakich, and just that feeling of disappointment, I think, is a good thing to know that we're on the right track. Like we expect more of our program, and we expect more coming into this year into 2026. And like he said, we're just going to be about it this year. That's what we've been talking about. But losing at home regional, you're one pitch away from something from moving on. Um, and that's the game of baseball. It's such little margins in those regional games that it is the margins are so little, and people say it all the time, but we've lived it now 3 years in a row, how quickly things can change.
Yeah, very cool, man. You guys nonetheless have still had fun throughout fall ball while preparing for 2026 to go above and beyond a regional like you were last year. Part of that fun, obviously, was the Savannah Bananas, right? Coming back to Doug Kingsmore Stadium once again. I talked to Coach Bakich about it, but I'd like to hear from you as a player. What is the experience like playing the Savannah Bananas?
Yeah, it really is. It's a once in a lifetime thing. Like it is so for us, it's so opposite and so different from our daily what we do every day that it's really cool just to have a couple days cut out where we meet all the players and they show us everything they do. But um, from the trick plays to the pregame performance to even in game, there's so much stuff going on. It's hard to even focus on the baseball because when there's someone throwing a pitch, there's someone doing a backflip like in the crowd. So it's a really different experience, but I think it's a really cool experience, especially for us as as players that usually just do similar things every day to just have a break like that and just get to go out and play in front of 7,000 people in October. Like not many schools get to do that, and to be able to get that feeling of, a home regional atmosphere or a home against South Carolina in October is a really good experience.
Yeah, very, very much so. I agree 100%. And let's talk, Joe, about y'all's pitching room a little bit. You are a part of it, obviously. A very good part of it after the year you had last year, pretty much the best year of your career when you break it down, I think, in my opinion. But talk about the other guys in the room and who you're excited for, who people should be excited for next year.
Yes. I think there's a lot to be excited for. This pitching staff is really deep. We got a lot of talent, and I mean everybody. Aidan Knaak,
Mhm.
best Friday night starter in the country. That dude, I would put him against anyone in the country. His work ethic, just everyone knows Aidan. But the guys that we have returning, like Drew Titsworth, Jacob McGovern, Nathan Dvorsky out of the pen, and then the new guys like Hayden Simmerson. D2 transfer. Like he's a legit dude. He's got insane stuff. Um, and then Ariston VZ from Alabama is electric fastball. Like it's always cool to see something like that. Um, but some of the freshmen, like Danny Nelson from Hershey, Pennsylvania, uh, legit stuff too. So I think it's a really deep roster. And then Dane Moeller coming back from Tommy John. I don't know
Mhm.
when he'll be back, but I could literally go on and on and on. Like the depth of pitching is a really big deal. That's something that I noticed in the fall was really impressive.
Awesome to hear, man. Very cool. Talk about, if you could, before we end today, a personal goal for you for 2026 for the season coming up, um, as well as a team goal. I'm pretty sure I know what you might say and what others might say, but I would like to hear you say it if that's okay. So just personal and team goal for the 2026 season.
Yeah, I mean, personal goal for me, I think my biggest piece that I can bring is just experience and being able to calm everybody down. Um, I've pitched in 3 seasons and I have no idea what this season holds, but I do know that this pitching staff and this team is talented enough and competitive enough and is close enough with each other that, we can do whatever we want to do. Um, but a personal goal is just using my experience to allow these younger freshmen that are so talented, these younger guys, um, to understand like they have a person to fall back on. Like I've been there. I've failed so many times in a Clemson jersey. Like it's not fun, but to know I had guys that I could fall back on, older guys. So that's just a goal for me is be able to be that piece that guys will always be able to fall back on.
Very nice, man. I appreciate it a lot. Actually, I kind of want to ask you this, just because we had him on before too. Talk about the kind of guy Coach Bakich is, just in general, what it's like playing for him. I guess you could use this as a pitch for recruits, to find out,
Yeah.
where they want to go, what playing for Coach Bakich is like. But you've been around him a ton now at this point, so talk about what it's like playing for that guy.
The the energy and the passion that he shows on his interviews and his social media videos and everything, that's like a tenth of what we get every day when he's out training with us. When he's like the amount of passion that he has for us, but like he just wants us to go out and have fun. And he knows the fun is in the winning, the fun is winning. But when we're having fun and playing like kids, he knows that we're gonna play good and play well. And like there's no other dude I'd rather lay it on the line for every time. Like he's done so much for me and my family, and every other family and player in our locker room. But I'd run through a brick wall for him right now if he asked me to. He's that type of dude and just a great human being as well.
Alrighty, Joe. Well, thank you for joining us today, man. Just a privilege to have you on talking about the Clemson Tigers, the deep pitching staff they have, playing with the Bananas, everything y'all got going on over in upstate South Carolina. I'm expecting big things from you and from the Tigers in 2026 as y'all make another push for Omaha.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. Well, everybody from World Baseball Network, this has been Alfred Ezman. We thank you for watching.